Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kallay Bros and Cryptos. And today we're going to talk a little bit about decentralization, the whole concept of it. Very, very essential part to a lot of cryptocurrencies, and you hear that some cryptocurrencies are more centralized than others, and whatnot. And we want to dig into a little bit of what decentralization looks like and what it means. So, Shane, you want to talk about it? I know you're telling me about an analogy that was almost perfect for this to explain this in layman's terms. So, you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, this is the way I like to go ahead and try to describe it to people, because it is kind of a foreign concept that people kind of struggle with. Anytime you probably hear people talk about Bitcoin, who might be involved in the space, will say, "Oh, well, it's great because of decentralization." But there are like 100 different analogies out there, but I find this to be the best way to be able to describe it to people. In a centralized system, which is right now the current system that we have, it's the traditional banking system. Um, it would be like a Zoom call where one particular person is in charge of that Zoom call, and they have a book, and this book is all of those transactions of all of the other people who are on this Zoom call with them, and all of those transactions that you make using your bank account, using your credit card or your Venmo account, all of those things are being tracked by this one person. Now, this person, as they read this book, they can make up whatever they want. Now, sometimes we can try to call them out, right? We can go ahead and try to say, "Oh, this was a fake transaction in my bank account. This didn't happen." So, as they're reading this book, but essentially, they get to their word is the last word. There's no way we can go ahead and say you're making that up, as they're reading out of this book. In a decentralized system, it would be like the same Zoom call, except every single person has an equal weight in the meeting. Every single person is part of this meeting. You don't have one person who's in charge of the meeting, and when they say that the meeting's over, the meeting's over. Every single person is part of the meeting. So if one person goes ahead and closes out of this meeting, it doesn't matter. The meeting is still going on. And in this meeting, everybody has a book. Everybody is reading out of not just a book, but the exact same book. So as we're reading this book,
So we know when someone's making a mistake or lying or something like that. We can tell right away because you have 1,000 other people who are watching it happen because we're following along.
exactly. So when a mistake is made, you have 999 other people going ahead and saying, "Nope, that's not right. We need to go ahead and fix that." So if there's transactions that don't make too much sense, then you have a ton of people or other computers essentially or other systems saying that is wrong, that is not correct, so that's no good. We're going to throw that out, or we're going to go ahead and make sure that that is correct before we finish this chapter. And that goes ahead and creates exactly what the blockchain is. And there's another really important part of this analogy that decentralization helps achieve, and that is the anonymity of Bitcoin. And I know that sometimes this gets associated with some negative connotations to Bitcoin about how it can be, since it's anonymous.
But use it to buy drugs, illicit transactions.
Illegal transactions and stuff like
Thanks,
that.
Silk
But
Road.
I mean, that's exactly how illegal transactions have been taken. I mean, the large majority of illegal transactions that have been taking place
Use cash.
is with cash, exactly, and money laundering, which goes through banks. So, yes, it does have the anonymity part of this does have some negative effects, but to kind of explain how Bitcoin is anonymous, in the centralized example, you have one person reading this book, and they can see the identity of every single person on this call. Every single person. They can see their name, they can see their face, they can see their social security number, what they buy on a daily basis.
The person who's running the show, the one person who has the book.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, we don't know anything about this person reading the book.
But they know everything about us.
We know what the news tells us about this person, but they know everything about us, right?
Yes.
In the other example, a decentralized example, it would be like everybody has their computer, has their cameras turned off. You can't see anyone's face. And everybody's name, instead of their actual name, it is a series of letters and numbers. That's it. So, yes, one person could go ahead and continuously make some transactions, or one person could go ahead and call out someone else on their mistake multiple times, and you know that it's the same person, but you have no idea who that person is.
Yes.
Unless they tell you in person that, hey, this is me. But at the same time, it helps provide a little of like some security, knowing that I can go ahead and buy something without someone tracking my every move.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say you have to give everyone all of your information in order to do that, and yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, and really, just I think why we love it so much, and I mean, feel free, is because it spreads out the power to everybody. So now all of a sudden you don't have one, and I mean, I'm looking at this in terms of an organization, right? If you have everybody in the organization that has a say in what's going on, you don't have one small group or person that gets to decide what's right and wrong for the entire system, whether it be an organization or a country. You have everybody else who kind of agrees and can put in. I don't know if with the right way to define that is put in their input to it. I guess on the decentralized.
Exactly, and I think in today's day and age, one of the biggest problems that people have with just the world in general is the fact that these gigantic corporations, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on or anything like that, I think everyone can agree that a lot of these top companies have way too much power and can gain way too much access to our information based off of the products that they provide.
Yeah.
And cryptocurrency in general is looking to solve that problem and provide an option to give power back to the people a little bit more, rather than just these top companies like Facebook and all of the big banks of the world.
Yes. No, absolutely. And to that point, I know we're going to have a lot of videos on a lot of different kinds of cryptocurrency down the line, so we don't want to get into all that. Different cryptocurrencies have different levels of decentralization. Bitcoin obviously being very, very decentralized, but a different kind of cryptocurrency, and that we'll save that for a whole other video. And without further ado, I mean, I kind of want to wrap it up here a little bit. Shane, do you have any other further comments you want to dig into a little bit here?
Nope, that's about it. I think you touched on it nice. We'll go ahead and talk about some of the different levels of decentralization in some other videos, but hopefully that at least provides a good example. And if someone asks you what is decentralization, hopefully that gives you a good way to be able to help spread the word, be able to explain it in a way that suits you.
Awesome. And as always, please, like Shane said before, like the like button, subscribe to our channel, and feel free to leave some comments in the comment section below, just to let us know if there are any other topics you want to touch on, get into a good bit. We're trying to really cover everything, and there's just so much to cover. So we'd love to hear from you. All right, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.